frequency to see if anybody says anything.
Well, let's see. Because I think with a cross post, it's still the same chat.
Oh, that's true.
So let me just see. Okay, I see you on Facebook.
You see me on Facebook?
So I have it cross posted to the Lotus and Light and Uma and the Healing Frequency. So I'm going to Uma to watch it from there.
You see me on Facebook? There is the delay.
Yeah, so you
cross posted to the Lotus and Light. And
you need to mute that, mute the Facebook.
So I'm going to.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you just needed to mute the Facebook.
Oh, I did. I was saying that because I muted it and I wanted to make sure that we were still good. There is the delay.
Hi, Angie. Okay, so Rob, are you able to follow along on Facebook?
This is going to be fun.
Hi guys, Rob is getting used to this. He's not used to this at all. We're actually doing this on Zoom because we can't be together tonight for Facebook Live because of the weather. So he's at his house, I'm at mine. So what we're doing is we're doing it on Zoom and then we're live streaming to Facebook. So Rob's trying to figure it out. Hi, Yaya. Oh wow, lots of
Hey,
people.
yeah.
Are you able to see it now, Rob? Can you see the chat?
I am not seeing the chat.
Okay, so go to my page, Uma Alexandra Bipat, the public profile, and join it there, and you'll see the chat box.
Okay, let me hop off and join back in.
So guys, while he's figuring that out, how's everybody doing? For those of you that are in Northern Virginia, did you enjoy the snow today? It really came down fast. And for those of you that are out of the area, it was crazy because we were not expecting it. They said we're gonna have a little bit, you know, we still sent the kids to school, which, you know, is a big deal in Northern Virginia. If we send the kids to school, it's nothing. And then halfway through the day, they said, okay, we're sending the kids home early. So I was working till 3 and didn't think anything of it. And by 1 o'clock, all this snow came in and now I'm stuck at work. I mean, it piled up on my car. I didn't even have like a snow scraper thing to remove the snow or anything. It was insane. Awesome.
No scraper thing to remove the snow or anything. It was insane. Awesome. No scraper thing.
Okay, I just deleted, well, killed the sound. So I'm back.
Okay, can you see the chat box now?
I can see the chat box.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, what did Yaya just say then? Yaya, I'm testing him.
It sucks. I don't like that white stuff. I love that white stuff. It makes my holidays so much better.
Awesome. So hi to everyone who's joining in. Rob and I are doing our monthly Facebook Live and we're doing it separate because we have snow and we're not able to do it together. But I gotta be honest, this might be our new thing because we can both see the screen. We don't have to fight for like airtime. So this might be a thing, Rob.
It might be, but I've got to tell you, the delay on Facebook compared to Zoom, it's like, you know, I say something and then a couple minutes later, I see my mouth moving. See, like I started a minute ago, now I'm seeing myself move. It's like, whew.
Yeah, you got to get used to it. It took me a while when I was playing around with Bonita. It took me a while to get used to it. So we're checking in with everyone. How was the start to your new year?
Mine was wonderful. It makes a mess, but how can it make a mess when it's all white? Come on, Yaya.
Love you too, Patricia. And the reason why we're pausing is because we know that when we ask a question, there's a delay, so we're just going to take some time for you guys to answer back. So the first question we asked you guys is, how was the start to your 2020? Did anybody do anything exciting? Angie feels great. I
she
know
does.
why you feel great, Angie. I can't say, but I know why. Patricia feels fabulous, hopeful, enlightenment even more than ever. Oh, that's so wonderful. I mean, that's just a great way to start the new year and the new decade, right?
Well, I just got to say, it was great starting it in Cancun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody danced his little hiney off and broke his flip-flops.
I did. I had to leave my flip flops in Cancun. Somebody will use them, put them back together again.
That's what you're hoping. You don't want to waste it.
No, I didn't, and I knew I would never use them again.
Aw. Yes, Yaya. She said lots of connections coming together. I so agree with you. Yaya and I have been in cahoots recently, just talking and chatting. We both have several businesses. So it's just, I feel like she's going to be my new BFF this year because it's nice to meet somebody who works as hard as I do and she gets it. So I'm going to be sticking close to you, Yaya, this year. Hello, Michelle. Michelle Shibel said, started off sick, but have a feeling it's going to be a great year. Yeah, that's a good thing, Michelle. Thank you for bringing that up because I wasn't feeling too hot earlier this year either. And I talked to some other people as well. Has anybody else had any sort of physical problems, feeling like with your health, anything like that? Because that was interesting. Yaya says yes.
Yeah.
It was, and I got to tell you guys, like, I totally changed my mindset this year because I have to tell you right now, I am not a gossiper. But when people around me start gossiping, I go quiet and I listen. So that in of itself is like gossiping. And then I start to ask questions because here comes the curiosity in me. I'm like, well, what did she say? And what did you like? There goes my Gemini moon, right? But I have to tell you, like, I have made a decision to not entertain anything negative anymore. So when I started feeling like blah, I was like, I'm going to rest. It's going to be okay. We got this. Better to get it out now than later on in the year. Like, I was just saying everything positive. And I hope you guys are on that kick too. Like, we're all just staying with positivity. Patricia.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things that I've been saying for a while is that 2019 came in like a lion and it went out like a jackass. And there's just been a little bit of stagnation in the first week to really kick it off. But 2020 is going to be an awesome year, and I am ready for it. And I know a lot of people have been sick, and you can watch the news and see that a lot of people are sick. But, you know, we are all in the holistic wellness field. We all have the essential oils. We all have the Reiki. We have the ability to really work on ourselves and take us to the next level. And 2020 is just going to be about lighting everything up and having a good time.
I agree with that. And I agree also that we have choice because
Yes.
Rob said, like, we had taken kind of like a break from doTERRA. We both are doTERRA wellness advocates. And I didn't tell you, Rob, but I just lined up 2 essential oil consultations for tomorrow. So
Nice.
and if anybody doesn't know, I do free 1-hour essential oil consultations by Zoom, just like this, where we talk about oils. We talk about like the importance of using oils and natural holistic products. And then I teach you about essential oils, how to use essential oils. And then I always end with where to find essential oils, which is like where I'm going to recommend, which is my page. And I got to tell you, aside from like the oils and the services and stuff like that, most importantly, we have choice. We have a choice to say no. And earlier this year, I was talking to a group of girls, and this one girl was like going down this rabbit hole about another girl. And like I said, I used to just kind of participate in it, not actively, but just by listening. And I just cut it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, whatever she's on, she's on. It is what it is. We're leaving that in 2019. We're just focusing on onwards and upwards. That's it, nothing else. And I saw somebody else, you know, like how you got those like friend haters, people that are like friends in your life, but they're not really, they're just spying on you and stuff.
Frenemies.
Frenemies, that's the word. Thanks, Rob. And I saw like earlier today, one of my frenemies did like, I don't know if it was a podcast or a show or a blog, I don't know. But there was something about what was written that I had to think, huh, a bit of this sounds like it's about me. And I know that she's like not too happy or whatever. I didn't even care to go read it, listen to it. I was like, nah, I don't even care. Like, blessings to her.
I've got to say, this is really fun watching you on Zoom and then watching you on Facebook. I'm going to have to get used to this.
Yeah, don't go back to Zoom. That's what I would tell you. Like, just stay on Facebook and use your ears now to follow the conversation.
See, but now there I am. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Leanne.
Hey, Leanne.
Yaya says, yes, oils. I'm so excited because Yaya is on my doTERRA team. So we're pairing up to do some essential oil thingies. If anybody is interested in buying oils or even talking to me about a secondary source of income, talk to me because I'm doing it this year. I'm pushing. doTERRA is one of my 4 businesses and I am pushing it religiously this year because I'm ready to take it to the top. Leanne says, double trouble, Rob.
Double trouble. I like double trouble. And I will just tell anybody that is on here that is thinking about essential oils, if you can't get a hold of Uma, you can get a hold of me and I will still send you back to Uma because we are a close-knit team. And, you know, I want you to be where you're going to get the support, the happiness, and the wealth of all the oils. And Uma's upline is just tremendously strong with all sorts of energy and knowledge, and she's got it as well.
Aw, thanks, babe. Well, I'm under Rob. That's why he's sending people back to me because I am under Rob. Yeah, I was like, let's make money. Hey, Zarima. So yeah, it's we do. And for a lot of you, I know some of you are like doing MLM marketing and you're like, I don't know. I'll tell you, I love the MLM marketing. It's so easy. I own 4 businesses. And if I knew about MLM marketing before, I probably would have just had 4 MLM marketing because it's easy compared to when you have to do a business on your own. It is so super easy. So if y'all want a secondary source of income, contact me after this. I will set up a call with you. And it's either going to be like me and Yaya or me and Karen or me and Diane on the call with you because we got this thing on lock. Listen, we got this thing on lock and we're trying to bring y'all in. Michelle says, MLM is amazing, right? I don't know why people, you know, and I thought at first it's because I'm a foreigner. When people started talking bad about MLM marketing, I was sitting here as a foreigner saying like, I don't get it. You do work, you sell really good products that are natural and healthy and holistic. You make money and your team makes money. What's the bad in that? Like, I couldn't get it. And I was like, maybe it's because I'm a foreigner.
Well, you know, the one thing that I see all the time is people getting upset at the markup. But when you actually have done retail and you see the price that the retail store is paying for something and then it's marked up like 100%, there's not 100% markup. And when it takes quality, and doTERRA is 100% quality, the distillation process, the co-impact sourcing where they're helping the farmers out and everything, you're getting what you buy. And I love doTERRA. I've been part of a lot of MLMs, multi-level marketing companies, and doTERRA is my favorite. And I will tell you, the fallout rate for doTERRA is virtually nil. People stay. They might not be selling to a bunch of other people, but they don't leave the product because the product works.
And I agree with Rob because I did a Mary Plan. I did Mary Kay for a while before, and I did Young Living before switching to doTERRA. And I love Young Living oils too, not a problem with them, but I just really liked the compensation plan. And that's why I stayed with doTERRA because you make money very easily. I mean, when I was really working my business, I was making a good couple hundred every month with doTERRA. And it was really nice to have just a couple hundred coming in every month. But yeah, talk to me if you'd like to talk about essential oils, about adding another business to your sources of income. If you want to, I have availability this week to talk to anybody who's interested. All right. Okay. Hi, Karen. Karen is one of my teammates. She is with me and Rob, Karen and Yaya. So yeah, Karen's available to chat about essential oils as well as Yaya. Michelle said, I did Mary Kay too, many, many years. I know, right? It's almost like a rite of passage. Like everybody has to do Mary Kay.
I didn't,
No, Rob didn't.
but
You
I
know
did
what?
do New Skin.
I have a great question for everybody because Rob and I just found, don't tell him yet, Rob.
Okay.
We just found this really great series that we're watching. So I just want to check in with everybody quick and say, what's your favorite series right now that you're watching? And you know which one I'm talking about, Rob.
No, I haven't seen any of it, but it still makes me laugh.
And let me just see the psychics in this little group. Can you guess what is like right now, Rob and I, our favorite series to watch? I'm not even going to tell you whether it's Netflix or HBO or Amazon or Hulu. I'm not even going to tell you any of that. Can you just make a wild guess what we are like loving at the moment right now?
And it's not The Empire Strikes Back.
No, Karen says she needs a new one. Oh, we have a recommendation for you, Karen. You're going to be glued to your TV.
Absolutely. Now I've got to wait to watch the next episode until Uma comes back.
Ooh, Andy said Messiah. I don't even know what that is. Now I got to go check that out.
Oh,
Oh, Rob, now you got to tell the joke about Messiah.
Messiah? Oh, the joke about Messiah. Well, so years and years ago, everybody kind of knows I've got a puppy. His name's called Silas. But prior to Silas, I went out on a limb and I went and got myself another Alaskan Malamute because I love that breed very much. And I had him flown in from a breeder out in Colorado. And I was looking at all these purebreds and everything. And I was like, they're named Lord and everything else. So I named my dog Messiah. And his full name was Messiah, Lord of White Peaks. And it was so much fun. And there was this one day a long time ago that my neighbor looked at me and he said, what is your dog's name? And I said, Messiah. He goes, oh, okay. And he put his house up for sale right next to mine in Centerville. And he had 3 offers on the house and he decided he was going to sell it to a Seventh-day Adventist preacher. And so right after this preacher moved in, Messiah got loose and I was running through the neighborhood with a beer screaming, Messiah, come. And then I had to have a talk with the preacher to let him know that my dog's name was Messiah. And he was like, oh, thank God.
I just thought that was like a hilarious when he told me the first time, because I was like, I could imagine Rob, for some reason, I imagine Rob with no shirt, hair flying, holding a beer can, screaming, Messiah, come, Messiah, come. And I'm just like cracking myself up yet again.
Hey, but it did not spill any of the beer.
Oh, The Witcher. Zarima said The Witcher.
Wow, The Witcher. Oh, thank you, Karen. It's kind of rough. You tell a joke and a story and you can't hear the applause this way or the sighs.
Well, they just got it because everybody's like cracking up. Okay, so drum roll, please. Our favorite TV show right now is The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this show. Have you guys heard about it? It's on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Rob can't watch it without me because he has Amazon Prime. I do not. So he has to wait until I come back over there to watch it.
And thank God I do, because after the storm came in and killed the cover on my pool today, I just went right on Amazon Prime and said, oh, I've ordered this before and got a new cover for my pool.
Oh, it's really good. One thing I like is watching period movies or period series where they go back to a time and they really like relive it the way it used to be. And if you see how women were, what era was this, Rob? The 50s or 40s?
Oh, it was probably around 42, 1942.
Yeah, girls, we are so lucky. Let me tell you right now, because what women had to do back then, like it was all about the man, it was all about the husband and just the things they did to make their husbands happy. And it's about Mitch Maisel. You know, she was the typical New York Jewish girl, did everything to make her husband happy. And clearly, you know where I'm going with this. It didn't work out so much, but she was a comedian and she just really started going out there and ripping. And if you like to laugh, I love to laugh. uh and her jokes and just everything with everybody in the whole thing, it's just on point. And did you guys remember the guy from the monk, I forgot his name.
I don't know his name, but the television show was Monk, and he was a detective and everything. But the one thing that I love about watching this with Uma is she keeps cringing because the woman would wait for her husband to go to bed, and then she would get out of bed and she would go take off all of her makeup. And then before he woke up in the morning, she would get out of bed, run and put all of her makeup on, and come back and lie down like a movie star next to him. So he never saw her without her makeup done.
I did cringe because I looked at Rob and I said, you clearly don't have that.
And she's actually going through measuring her ankles and her calves and her thighs to make sure that they are the exact same size as when she got married.
It's insane, ladies. I am so glad
But
that
for
we have come
those
a
of you
long
that
way.
are not old enough, really, I remember when my mom got really credit in her name after, before the divorce and everything, right before the divorce, I do believe. But I mean, this was in the 70s. So we've come a long way, and people just don't realize how far within my lifetime what I have seen change. And I know it's coming along a lot more rapidly now. And it's just great.
Yeah, I am definitely not taking off makeup after I'm sometimes in bed before Rob, so he gets to hear snoring and everything.
Oh, yes, I do.
I'm
The
making
sleep
myself
apnea machine was ordered on Amazon Prime today for you.
I make myself sound so delightful and I'm delicate like a little flower. All right, so let's get into our talk tonight. Rob and I are doing the New Year, New You weekend workshop.
Woohoo!
Weekend, I'm so excited. We made all the plans, ordered all the lunches, everything's taken care of. By the way, if you guys still want to join us, we do have 3 spots left. Actually, 2. I'm sorry, 2 spots left because somebody just signed on today. So it's the New Year, New You weekend workshop. We are going to be at Lotus from 9 to 4 on Saturday, 9 to 4 on Sunday. Saturday, we call it Out with the Old. Why do we call it Out with the Old, Rob?
Oh, we are really going into everything that has transpired in the last 10 years. This year, it's going to be all about looking back at the past decade. Everything that has happened to you within the last decade, we want to leave it behind. Even the limiting beliefs that you've accrued within the last 10 years, we want to leave it behind. So we're going to go into those little things, those little nuances that are still haunting and plaguing us that have happened over the last 10 years, if not our lifetime. Look at the emotional intelligence, everything that's going on. But Saturday is all about getting rid of everything so that we can really come in to 2020 with a new light and going back to the 70s, maybe some rose-colored glasses. Right?
Yeah, people don't like me on Saturday because in the morning, Rob does his workshop, and in the afternoon, I do the clearings. So I do like the mental clearings, the emotional clearings. And this time I'm not doing just last year, I'm doing the whole decade. So it feels really heavy. Like you could hear a pin drop in the room because there's just so much heaviness on Saturday as people are releasing. And then what's really cute is when people try to make plans after Saturday, like Saturday night, and they're like, I just want to go home and go to bed and cry. And I'm like, yeah, do that. So that's Saturday. We call it Out with the Old because we're really just doing clearing. And we do it on ourselves too. Rob and I also get cleared as part of that process. That's why we love it so much. And then Sunday, we call it In with the New. And what are we doing, Rob, with In with the New?
Oh, we are really going into actually creating those healthy boundaries, getting rid of the tolerations, learning what it is that we want to do, and creating those goals for that time in our life to really bring everything in to manifest and to make everything new and real and just move you through for the best decade that you could possibly ever have.
Yeah, so with the In with the New, we are doing our mapping and our goal setting for the year, for the decade, and it's really good to have an idea of where you're going. So the very first time Rob and I held this workshop, which was, how long ago was this, Rob? 4 years ago?
4 years ago. This is the 4th year that we're running it.
Yeah, yeah. So the first time we ran this workshop, there was a girl that came and she was arguing with me because she didn't like to make resolutions. She was, deeply spiritual, and I respect that. But she said, you know, I like to have spirit, I follow spirit, I go with the flow and this and that. But yet she was in the workshop because she didn't know where to go. She didn't have like a direction of where she wanted to go, stuff like that. So I told her, I said, this is the problem, especially in spiritual circles, because I do follow spirit. I do follow the call of spirit, but yet I have a very firm foundation of what I want to manifest on this earth before I leave. And I told her, it's kind of like building a house. If you want to build a house, do you just go pick up some nails and board and say, all right, I'll go build myself a house? No, 100% of the time there's a plan, right? There's a blueprint for the house. The architecture draws it up, they design it, they put down the framework, and then they start putting in all the pretty things you want, like that big tub with the claws on it and stuff like that. So you can want all the nice things in life. You can want it absolutely as much as you want it. But if you don't have any plan, then good luck attracting those things to you.
Absolutely. And one of the things is, if you do have plans and you're looking for moving forward, if you actually, as Uma says, I'm just going to cut myself real quick. I'm really good at taking people really deep into that dark place. And that's why she's doing the clearing, because I will go right in like a Jedi Knight and just say, okay, I see this. But it's all about what is in your heart. And for those that have come to Manifestation Monday, you will know that I talk a lot about the heart and about heart math. What is in your heart? And are you aligned with your heart? So this weekend is not just about getting rid of the old, but also aligning you with your heart and your true life purpose, and really moving forward so that you can actually live in the purpose of your life with effortless ease. And Uma does a great job of the clearings. And if anybody came out to our retreat just a couple months ago, out at that beautiful place, what was the name of that place, Uma?
Seven Oaks Retreat.
No, that was the year before.
For New Year, New You, we have only been to Seven Oaks Retreat.
No, a couple months ago.
Oh, Serenity Ridge.
Serenity Ridge. She was so good at doing the clearing statements after we took them really deep. And for those that come out, you're going to really get to experience all these clearing statements and Uma's wonderful ability to get rid of that junk that I just love to bring up. As so many of my clients have said, they just want to put a sign on my front door that says, remove your makeup now or Rob will remove it for you. So I'm going to remove it and Uma's going to dress you up somehow.
We tend to do that. So we are prepping this week for the New Year, New You weekend retreat. Like I said, there's 2 spots left. If you want to join us, now's the time. You don't have to commit to the whole weekend. If you feel like you really could do it Saturday, just the one day, then just sign on for the one day. If you feel like you can do you only want to do the prepping and the planning for the new year and new decade, then just come Sunday. I'm going to put the code here. When you click on that link, the NY Retreat 2020, if you put the code one day, then you get to pick, which day that you want to come, and, we'll contact you to order your lunch, because lunch and refreshments are included. Karen said, yes, you do, Rob.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
I know that's right. So in prepping this week, for the New Year, New You, we wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about what do you do when there's a new year that starts, and just answer any questions that you might have about the energy or the energetic properties of a new year and the ending of an old year. So I think the first question I want to ask is culturally, are there any cultural significances about a new year that you guys do or practice that you want to share? Like I'll tell you I'm from Guyana, South America. And one of the things that we do is have black eyed peas on the stove because it's a symbol of abundance and prosperity. So in my country, we tend to like do a big cleaning of the house.
Mhm.
You know, even the curtains and washing the curtains and everything, throwing out the trash and everything. And then we make sure we cook black eyed peas and leave it on the stove. So is there any cultural significance for you guys about what you do in prepping for the new year?
Oh, I think for me to answer, it's alcohol.
Alcohol is your cultural.
Yes, I think it is. It's that Irish in me. I don't know. So let's see. Is anybody coming up with anything cultural?
Well, it's going to be a delay. So
Yeah, that's true. Because I've got a whole list of questions myself that are all written out just in case. The last time we were on here, everybody was very quiet. So I've prepared.
Zarima said, we also eat 12 grapes for good luck. I've never heard of that, but I love that, Zarima.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I like that. 12 grapes for good luck. Endu says, my New Year's is September 11th. We usually do new clothes to symbolize new beginnings. Endu, can I ask, why is your New Year's September 11th? Is that cultural, religious? And that's really significant for me because one of my sons, he was born on September 10th. He was actually supposed to be born on September 11th, but because he was a C-section, I opted for September 10th because, you know, I'm a Jersey girl and I went through 9/11. So,
Mm-hmm.
so that's interesting that he's born on a new year. Hi,
Hello,
Natalia.
Natalia.
She said cultural. I
Mm.
love that. I didn't know that. See, that's what I love. When you guys comment in and you're just chatting with us, we get to learn about different cultures, different belief systems, things like that. So that's really cool to know. Anybody else has any New Year's resolutions that they do? All right, Rob, I'm gonna kick it over to you. I know you came with some questions.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. What three things made the hugest difference in your life over the last 10 years? What really has changed your life in the last 10 years that you could think of right off the top of your head? I've got to say, for me, I mean, um, moving out of Centerville, a house that I've been in for 18 years, having my mother and my stepfather pass away, and learning Reiki. That just changed my life. You know, I had my mortgage license removed, filed bankruptcy, my vending company went away. That was all just around 10 years ago. And just to move into this whole new world, this whole new holistic world, I never would have thought that I would be here today if I thought about where I was back then. I mean, the market crashed, everything changed. What
Yeah.
has changed for you in the last 10 years? What
Yes.
were your aha moments?
Rob's question is, what three things, when you reflect on the last decade, what three things really shook it up for you? I know for me, it was definitely the birth of my children because both of them happened within the last decade. So that, like, transitioning from this young carefree girl to this responsible mom, that was a big shift for me. Moving to Virginia from Florida was another big shift, having 4-season weather and just living here. And then really Lotus started at the beginning of the last decade. We started in March 2009, which was the beginning of the last decade. So that's a big part for me, is Lotus, my kids, and the move. Really was big things that changed.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone, Endu, Natalia, Sarima, Karen, Diane, Yaya, what 3 big things happened to you in this past decade that you really feel like they're accomplishments or they were significant in bringing you to where you are right now? And everybody else who's watching, because I can't see your names. I can only see the names of who leaves comments.
Absolutely. And I've got a whole ton of questions. We can have lots of fun.
I would say ask another question. Well, they're probably mulling it over because I had to think about that too for a while. I was like, ooh, what were those things?
What are the 3 most important things that you've learned about yourself in the last decade, the last 10 years? What have you learned about yourself?
So for your last question, Endu said she got married, had kids, and growing in her truth. I love that.
Nice.
Zarima said moved out of a troubled relationship for my girls, brought me closer to them and made me grow. I love that too. Natalia said getting married. Yeah, these are big things, right, guys? So this past decade was full of big things for all of us.
Big changes.
So now Rob's next question is,
what are the 3 most important things that you've learned about yourself in the last 10 years?
That's a good question. I think the one thing that I really learned is that I'm strong and I can stand on my own 2 feet, because I was very spoiled, guys. I don't know if you know this, but my mama and daddy spoiled the heck out of me. Okay. Okay. Yaya said I was going in and out, so she missed the question. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube, the Facebook, and the Zoom.
And Karen left a toxic job.
And coaching. And Zarima said she had to find herself, become who. I'm loving all these answers you guys are giving. Yaya, the question was, what 3 significant events happened in the last decade that shaped you to who you are now? That was the question. And the next question is, what 3 things did you learn about yourself? And I was answering Rob and saying that I learned how strong I am because I always depended on my dad. And then after that, I always depended on my husband. And then after that, I just depended on boyfriends. And I was kind of like, no, I'm done with that. Because when I opened Lotus, I did that for me. And even though my dad wanted to help me or my brothers or anybody else, I was like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. I struggled. And it's really nice to sit here 10 years later and I did it all on my own. So that's really nice.
Well, and I can tell you for me, it might surprise everybody, but I learned how to communicate in a relationship. I'm naturally quiet, but I've come into really learning how to communicate and let people know how I feel. And I'm great as a coach, but horrible as a boyfriend, I got to tell you. But I also learned how to let go. My joke used to be that I could beat a dead horse forever, but the flies, when they started annoying me, I would move on.
Oh yeah, Rob was very, very stubborn when I met him, but I'm really glad about the communication because I'm a Gemini moon. So communication's everything for me. And he would go into his like man cave of silence.
It could go on for weeks, if not months.
10 months. 10 months. Yaya said that's a hard question to answer.
Well,
And said, I'm stronger than what I give myself credit for. I recognize that people around me took kindness for weakness. My patience for disrespectful people diminished. I'm going to like heart that, Endu, because everything you said, I also learned about myself. Thank you.
absolutely. And guys and gals, there might be a guy out there, I don't know, but this is what this weekend is about. This is what this weekend is about. It's about reflection and going back in and answering these hard questions, these questions that we don't want to bring to the surface. It's all in the heart, but we can actually go into it and we can alleviate that pain in the heart to really achieve the things that we want for the next decade.
Yeah, we're really doing a lot of soul searching this weekend. I'm so excited because it's like, as you ask the questions, I'm putting myself in there. Sarima said, I learned to be independent as well. I can do anything I put my mind into. Also learn to love and accept myself. Still a work in progress. Girl, you are telling the truth right there. Michelle said, I'm tired of doing everything on my own. MLM is the way I want to go, and being a single mom is very, very difficult. It can be. I'm a single mom too, Michelle. And I remember those days earlier on when I separated and divorced from my husband, my kids were 4 and 2. So it was really hard in the beginning. I don't know how old your kids are, Michelle, but I'll tell you, it gets really easier, especially if you raise really productive, respectful, responsible children. It gets really super easy and they become like your best friends. So I don't know how old your kids are, but I'm letting you know that I did it. A lot of women did it. You're going to do it too. I have faith in you. Leanne said, I'm capable of anything if I try hard enough. You cannot control what others do. Amen. And following my spiritual path is the right thing to do. I really love that. Thank you, Leanne.
Absolutely. So who here has identified what their boundaries are and what their core true values are and have really set their boundaries, established them around what their core values are? There's a hard question. I can feel Karen start to cringe as I'm talking.
You're like transplanting on him, Karen. You're transplanting.
She's like, I left this.
That's deep what Yaya said. She recently learned that her fear isn't money, it's her power. And she learned that she needed to take care of her first. I hope everybody's paying attention to what Yaya just wrote, because Rob and I both do transformational coaching with our clients. And I can't speak for you, Rob, but I can guess, just off of my clients, I can guess that the majority of people who come to us, the big issue is not the fear of leaving that relationship or the money or leaving the job. It's that I'm going to do it. I'm going to be really damn good at it. And what does that look like in life for me?
I've seen a lot of people that are struggling with ego and what ego is. And a lot of times ego is about keeping us safe, but we can also look at it and find a limiting belief where people who are boisterous, people who are over the top, it's okay to have pride in your own capabilities. That's not ego. That is a sense of self, and it's a sense of pride. And so much of the time when we actually have good, genuine pride, we think that it's ego and we shut it down and it holds us back from really growing. And I've seen so much of that, of people shutting themselves down because they're afraid that it's all ego and they're being boisterous, but actually they're just coming into their own power.
Yeah, that ego thing is right. That ego thing is right. And a lot of you, as we start this new decade, a lot of us are moving into significant age ranges. Show of hands. Let's see, let's do it by the different things. So put a thumbs up if you are moving into your 30s with this new decade. Let me see some thumbs up. So I'm going to wait, Rob, because there's going to be a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, I'm not moving into anything.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of everything.
So if you are moving into your 30s this new decade, put a thumbs up. If you're moving into your 40s, or you're in your 40s, furthering on into your 40s, put a heart. Here, I'm going to put a heart because I turned 42. Okay, there's like some angry, put a laughing face if you're moving into your 50s, or if you're in your 50s and you're continuing on in your 50s, a laughing face. Put like that shocked face if you are moving into your 60s. Anybody here moving into their 60s? The shocked face? Yeah, a couple shocked faces going up. So a lot of hearts. So that tells me there's a lot of people moving into their 40s in this decade. Guys, I know some of you are like still in your 30s. You haven't hit your 40s yet. I'm 41. I'm now turning 42 on January 19th. Listen, take care of your bodies now, okay? Do it. Take care of your bodies now. Everything starts to fall apart. Zaraima said, by the end of this decade, I will be on my glorious 45. It can be glorious. It really can. Natalia said going into 39-ish. Yaya, 40 in 2021. We're going to Dubai. Oh, I hope I'm on that trip.
Woo! You know, with what Uma was just saying, it was only a couple of years ago that I had a conversation. She's like, could we cancel and delete this? And I was turning 42. And at that point in time, every injury that I had ever had was suddenly coming back.
So
and I really did a lot between fighting in the ring, martial arts, motocross, and ski racing to my body. But the one thing that was really dragging me nuts is I lost a scholarship to Penn State by blowing out my knee in a ski race at West Virginia. And I was going up and down the steps on my butt, and I went in to see my doctor, and he looked at me and he goes, "Oh, Rob, you're 42." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Didn't I tell you when you were 40, when you turned 40, that the warranty was off?" And I was like, "No, asshole."
Yeah, he was rude as hell if you ask me. But no, seriously, like everything. First it was my ankles, then it was my knees. Now it's like my hip. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So this year, as I turned 42, I'm really committed to drinking less, to doing more vitamins, to doing like really paying attention to getting fruit and vegetables in. So if this is you in the future, I'm giving you, this is your future self saying, start taking care of yourself right now. I thought I was living each day like it was like I was just in my prime. I did not, this snuck up on me. Okay. So take care of your health right now. Yeah, that's my advice to you. But this is going to be a big, significant decade. And this is what I was telling Rob, because, you know, the thing with us is that we tend to think we're always living in that moment and we don't think ahead. And I was looking at it. I'm in my 40s, right? I'm in my prime right now in terms of working my business and doing what I do. I'm in my prime. My 40s, my 50s, my 60s are going to be my prime. So I have 3 decades. I'm not saying that I can't work in my 70s, 80s, 90s, but what I'm going to say is I believe wholeheartedly that my focus is going to change, because in my 70s, 80s, and 90s, I'm going to have grandchildren. My children are going to be older adults, and I'm going to be nearing that time for me to transition. So what I'm foreseeing is that my perspective is going to change. So now is really the time to do it. You know, and for those of you that have several businesses, you might be tired like I'm tired all the time, but this is your prime. If you work hard now and you set up your multiple streams of income, then when you are older, your 70s, your 80s, your 90s, you can relax a little bit, especially if you have teams of people working with you and working for you, and you have residual income coming in, you can relax a little bit and then really enjoy your golden years.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to share that because, you know, I know people aren't really thinking about it in that terms, but does that make sense for everyone? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Not trying to scare you, especially those of you in your 30s. I'm just saying we have the perfect opportunity right now to take advantage of everything while we have our health, we have our youth, we have our vitality. But I'll be honest, even turning 42, I get tired earlier. I can understand why people eat dinner at 4 o'clock now. Because by like 7 o'clock, I'm ready for bed. And I'm just like,
Oh, come on now. You know it's because by the time they turn 45, it takes so long to clean their dentures.
okay, listen, you don't have them, so I know I'm not going to have them.
Oh, and just to let everybody know, it's okay to get knocked down even in your 40s. I mean, my late 20s all the way through my beginning 40s, I was a mortgage broker. I owned a fairly large vending company, you know, that went from Oxon Hill, Maryland, all the way through DC, had all the secondary schools in Loudoun County, and I was doing multi-million-dollar mortgages. I was making good money. Everything changed, and it was all about recreating myself, rebranding myself, and moving forward. Don't be afraid to get knocked down, because when you get back up, you're going to have a lot more knowledge, and it might just be easier the next time.
So who here is in preparation for this new year? You've decided to let some things, some people, some situations go. Have you ever done that? I'll be honest, I've done that. I've literally broken up with a guy on the cusp of a new year. It was bad. We were supposed to go to a New Year's Eve party, and I called him to tell him I'm not going with you, I'm going with my friends. And he was like, how cruel can you be? And I said, well, I'm not really being cruel. I really just don't want to open the new year with you because you're kind of on the way out and not going with me into the new year. It was just, I wasn't really happy in that
I
relationship.
don't think an empath could do that.
So how many of you have done something similar, whether it's a relationship or a habit or a situation where you're just kind of like, I do not want to bring this into the new year with me? Michelle says, this girl. Endo says, ouch.
I agree with Endo. Ouch.
Hi, Martha. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome,
So
Martha.
I did. I was just kind of like, I don't want to bring this drama and trauma into my new year. So goodbye, good luck. Have at it. Yaya said, shit, I need to do that. It really is refreshing. Now, I'm not advocating for anybody to be like ditching people left, right, and center, but it was really clean and clear cut for me. It was like, it was done. I'm very grateful for my job because, like you guys know, I'm approaching my 10,000 number, and I'm really trying to stagger it because I want Rob to be the person that's my 10,000th customer that I've worked on. So I have to make sure I line up with his schedule. But I got to tell you, like, it's been very humbling for me because I see, especially, and I have to speak from my experience, right? I see a lot of women that are stuck in these like dead end situations, relationships. They're not getting, like, I was talking to a woman this week about, she was involved with like two different guys, and they both were not just giving her anything of substance. They were kind of like, call her when they were bored kind of thing. But when she needed somebody, nobody was around. And I said, when are you going to stop putting up with halves and get a whole? And it really was eye-opening for me because I remember my brother had a conversation with me. My brother is the hopeless romantic. He loves love, and I love him for loving love, and he loves being in relationships and all of that. And I was never that person, right? I was just, if it's done, it's done. I'm out. And he said to me, I've always looked up to you because when something's not working for you, you go, you leave, and you just have the trust and faith that things are going to work out, even if you don't see it. And I said, but of course, because after you've been in and out of so many situations in life, I think we're supposed to learn from our situations, right? And one of the things I've learned is that people can come and go, but your peace of mind is paramount. Does anybody agree with me on that? Let me get some hearts. Do you agree with that? Your peace of mind is like the most important thing?
I do.
Yeah. I saw Rob go up and I saw a couple of hearts. And I saw a laughy face. Sarima said old habits. And yes, maybe some toxic people, but it's kind of happening on its own. That's an important thing. The toxic levels, the toxic people in your life are going to start dropping out because it's a frequency thing, right, Rob?
Absolutely. And, I'm glad you brought up habits because there's this great thing called tiny habits. And how do we create change? So much of the time we try to just eliminate something and say, I'm getting rid of this habit. Why don't we just start creating tiny habits that move us away from something? And I love using this one example that I've used a lot within my coaching, which is people trying to go back to the gym after the new year. They want to lose weight. They want to do this. They want to do that. And their tolerations are so high. They're just zapped of energy and they don't get off the couch. And I'm like, okay, here's what I want you to do. This week, I want you to decide on what days you're going to go to the gym. And then go ahead and drive to the gym. Don't even go in. Just start the momentum, start the movement, and then go into the gym and then just pretend like you're getting a phone call and say, oh, I got to go. And then go back into the gym and actually go ahead and dress out and then get the phone call. Once you actually start the tiny habits, you will start the movement. Energy and motion stays in motion. Frequency and vibration, it's all about creating the change. Once you start to move, you will stay.
Yeah, I love that. And Sarima said replacing the habits. And that's such a true thing because like I was saying to Rob earlier today, I was like, we always have choice. And I think people forget that. People like, it's not like you don't have a choice to leave a relationship. It's, what's comfortable and it's the comfort that's keeping you there. And the same thing with a job. It's not like you don't have a choice to leave your job. I hear people complain, all the time about this job. They hate it. And I said, leave. And they're like, oh, you don't know. I was like, I don't know. I left a job with 2 children under the age of 4 and divorced and a mortgage and a house and home payments to take care of. And I did. I left, and then the thing, life opened up and I got this new job that was just way better. I said, the thing is we always have choice, but we lie to ourselves in saying that we don't have a choice. Or we make excuses because we really don't want to move, and that's one of my downfalls about humanity today is when you think about it, we've really become a lazy species on this planet. We've become very, very lazy because in the old days, if the climate wasn't good, you had to pick up everything, put it on your back and move.
Mhm.
And you just had to keep moving until you found something that was nice and you could relax a little bit and then you got to move again. But because we've built a life of comfort, so much comfort, that now when it comes time to move, when we know we need to, it's hard because we can't understand life without that comfort.
So to touch on what Uma's saying, fear controls the masses. Pain moves the masses. So don't wait for the pain. If you're fearful, go into it and understand it and start to create the change. So many people wait until it actually becomes painful to actually do what's in their best interest because they just are held up with other things.
I'm doing a big talk about fear on Saturday Out with the Old, because I'm addressing fear from a physiological perspective. And the thing is that the majority of us are living in a fear-based place.
Mm-hmm.
And, as Rob and I are having you guys do this reflective exercises, I have a question for you. And I want you to answer it truthfully. If you can share it on this Facebook live chat. And my question to you is, be honest with yourself. What is the biggest thing you fear? And write it down. I'll tell you, you want to know what my biggest fear is? And I'm not even bullshitting you. This is 100% my truth. My biggest fear is that I die tomorrow and I didn't do enough with my life, that I didn't make the most of the time I was given. I didn't have a meaningful experience. I didn't touch people on a soul level. I didn't make my children have like this wonderful experience of life, or my partner. That is my biggest fear. Rob, what's your biggest fear? Do you have a fear? Sometimes I think Rob's fearless.
I would actually have to say one of my biggest fears is loss. And that's why so much of the time you will hear me say that the fear of loss is stronger than the fear of gain. And what I mean by this is what is familiar is stronger than what is unfamiliar. And this is what keeps us doing that same thing over and over again, playing out the definition of insanity. So how many people out there are just afraid of losing and not gaining?
That makes sense. So, what's your fears? And I know some of you might be like, well, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to manifest it. That's not how it works.
Get it out.
Yeah, get it out, talk about it, address it. Because you see, what's in the dark, when you bring it to light, then the healing can begin. Because when I identified months ago that my biggest fear was living a meaningless life, all of a sudden the universe transpired to bring me really meaningful moments, like me becoming the president of the Manassas Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So meaningful that I can bring together the holistic, spiritual, metaphysical community in Manassas and around, and have it thrive. Even when I'm dead and gone, it will still keep going. So what are your fears? Yaya said, my biggest fear is not doing my life's purpose. I think that is why I have a huge tug on my heart. That totally makes sense, because that's a big fear too. That we got it wrong, right? Like we go to heaven or somewhere after here, and then they were like, yeah, you were supposed to be a truck driver and you were a deli server. What were you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Natalia said, I do, Rob. I think was that about the loss?
Yes.
Yeah, fear of loss is big. I like that, Yaya. Thank you for being vulnerable, because that's true. If we're not living our life's purpose, what we came here to live for and do, then that that will kind of suck when you go on the other side and you're like, wait, what? I was so concerned with this, getting the money or this guy or this girl, and I didn't do what I was supposed to do. What?
Mhm. So, what are the three biggest things that you could implement tomorrow to make the biggest change in your life for the next decade? Let's go to a positive. What can
Oh, I
you
like
bring
that.
into your life tomorrow to really create the biggest change for the next decade?
Did you guys get that? Let me type it out, Rob. What was the question?
What three things would make the hugest difference in your life tomorrow if you implemented them today? And I just got to let everybody know, last time that we did this, it was dead silent. I could hear crickets. So I made a whole list of questions. And for those that are going to be there over the weekend, you're going to get a lot more than this.
Oh yeah, because
These aren't even included in those questions.
we're doing a lot of reflection on Saturday and Sunday. Endu said, having this be what defines me, where I am today. It's a great answer. Sarima says, keep momentum. I know one thing that would make the biggest difference in my life tomorrow, if I start today, is really setting up my businesses. And that's what I'm doing this year, is I'm really like rebranding and segregating different businesses, pushing my doTERRA more, because it's a really good business. It's holistic, it's natural, it's health and wellness. So I know if I put the time in today for all my businesses, then my tomorrow is going to be fruitful, not just monetary wise, but also just seeing people happy and healthy and vibrant because of the businesses that I have. Oh, good. We got a lot of answers here. I love it. Yaya says time management, LOL, meditation, meditating more, manifesting more. Michelle says consistency, decluttering, and making myself priority. Melissa says more time for self-care. Natalia says be even more positive. Zarima says time management for sure. Meditation. Yeah. Do you notice you guys are all saying pretty much the same thing? It's really coming down to self-care, right? Self-care and time management, but time management can fall under self-care, right?
Absolutely can. And I just got to go back to Michelle. When you figure out the whole decluttering thing, I've got a whole house over here that I need help with that goes back decades worth of stuff.
Endu says, giving myself time to just be, earn a second income, break free. I love that. Endu, talk to Yaya. We have a really good second income opportunity for you.
Mhm.
I'm all about this business. And I'm so glad. I have to tell you all right now, I am thankful to Rob for getting me doTERRA as one of my businesses. It's my third business.
Mhm.
And I'm thankful to Rob, because what turned me on about doTERRA with Rob was that Rob was not a pushy salesman. And I hate MLMs because of the pushy salesman tactic. Rob just had a whole bunch of oils in his house, in his car, in his kitchen, in his bathroom. They were everywhere because the man was using the oils. And then he just, would just, like, if we went out and I had a hangover from drinking the night before, he would put peppermint on my temples and he put like peppermint on my feet and stuff. And I would just like feel better. And I said, okay, I got to look into this doTERRA thing. And I signed myself up under him. He was so surprised. So thank you, Rob, for putting this opportunity in my way.
You're very welcome. To me, it's all about using them and just knowing the benefits from them. One of the things that really got me is within my family, triglycerides run really high. And oh geez, I think I was 32 and my triglycerides were over 1800. And if anybody knows about triglycerides, I think it's 250, maybe 200 is considered high. So, I mean, mine were nosebleed, and I really was fighting with the doctors about all the meds that they wanted to put me on because it ran in the family. And I actually, through meditation and Reiki, I was able to really bring those down. But then I added a balance to the bottom of my feet. And my doctor looked at me and said, "What happened? I mean, they just went on a complete nosedive. So anybody with cholesterol or high triglycerides, balance is really great for regulating sugar, from what I understand. And all I can tell you is what it did to me, and it really helped, really changed. But yes, use the oils. I love them. I use them all the time. The one thing that I will say is if you blend them within your lotion and you put it on, I usually put a couple oils in my lotion when I get out of the shower, and then I put my lotion on. Don't go out in the sunlight. You might get splotchily burnt, because wherever that oil is, it will magnify that sun. So I'm not sure if we froze up or not.
I don't think so. Well, we
Okay.
are nearly at the end of our time with you guys. So I'm going to open it up for questions now. What questions do you guys have? And anything that is on your mind, spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, energy, psychic, anything. What questions do you guys have that Rob and I can help you with? I know we talked about a lot of things. We talked about first the sicknesses that everybody was having at the beginning of the new year. We talked about what we're letting go. We talked about what we're inviting in. I got to say, I'm feeling very confident with this group of people. I feel you guys are going to be making some excellent moves this year. And I'm excited to watch you grow and watch you thrive. Yeah, I said, we're just listening. Michelle said no. Natalia said thank you. I love the fact that you guys like to listen to me and Rob.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you're so welcome. So listen, I'm going to do a couple of shameless plugs about this month, let you guys know what we got going on, Rob and I together. Like I said, we have the New Year, New You weekend going on this weekend. You're more than welcome to join us. We have a couple of spots left. The weekend of the 18th, we're going to be at some Illuminate festivals. So if you are in Columbia, Maryland, we're going to be in Columbia, Maryland with Illuminate Festival on January 18th. And January 19th, we're going to be at the Illuminate Festival in Fairfax. These are really good to come to because Rob and I, we don't come into the studio to do a 15-minute reading or a 30-minute reading. We do those by phone. So if you wanted to get like a reading or a healing with us, like one-on-one, these are the greatest things to do is just come to a festival. Same pricing. It's not like more. We don't charge more, and the same pricing, and you get like a reading in person or whatever else. So that's going on that weekend. And I just want to remind you guys that Rob and I are doing our message circle, the evidential mediumship platform on Friday, January 31st. It's first come, first serve. We can only accommodate 30 people. So we've been having people sign up through Eventbrite and also through Meetup. So if you want to come and witness the power of spirit communication, that is a great thing to come to. Most mediums in the area are charging $40, $50 for an event like what we're doing, exactly the same event. Rob and I are doing it donations based, so people tend to donate $20, $30 because they know how expensive these things are. But we love doing it from our heart. This is our way of serving our community and our spiritual community by bringing through messages from their loved ones. So that's Friday, January 31st. Rob, do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh, the one thing that I want to add is something that I'm having a lot of fun with right now, which is one of my clients gave me a book on Mary Magdalene. And from reading this book while Uma and we were on vacation down in Cancun, my daughter even said, "How did you read all this?" I was like, and then she goes, "Oh, you were sitting on the beach and you were on a plane." I was like, "Yeah." But Mary Magdalene came in and she just really jazzed up my energy work right now. And there's this whole thing with her with bridging the gap between Lilith and Eve, from Adam and Eve. And the energy is just, I am loving it. And it's all about balancing out that feminine divine and about bringing in that essence of who you are, the dark and the light, and understanding that they are both of the same. And I'm having a lot of fun with it this month. So I would love to have anybody come in and see me and say, "Hey, bring in Mary Magdalene." It's it's a lot of great work. But yeah, that's all I got to share.
Yeah, Rob is going to be doing a really great talk about that Lilith and Eve energy and Mary Magdalene in May when we do our Facebook Live in May. because that's going to be the divine feminine. And then on June, he's going to be talking about the toxic masculine and
Oh, okay.
addressing some issues there. Yaya just reminded me, and I forgot that we do have the Holistic Chamber of Commerce on Friday, January 10th at Girani.
Yes.
Girani has come in as an exchange member with the Manassas Holistic Chamber of Commerce. So we're very excited that we'll be holding all our meetings at Girani's for this whole year. And it's 10 a.m. at Girani's on Friday. So, and you know what's really cool? Ken is so cool, the owner of Girani's. He's not charging us. He loves what I'm doing with creating the community vibe. So he's not charging me this year. So I ask that anybody who's coming, please buy a croissant, please buy a coffee, please show some love to Girani's, because I think that's so exceptional that they open up their doors to the community and let us come in. So I want to thank them by having us purchase items there. So the Holistic Chamber of Commerce is for you if you have a holistic business, if you're spiritual, psychic, medium, massage, whatever, and you want to come and network and grow your business and grow your community. But it's also open to people who don't have a business but are thinking about having a business, or also who are just consumers and you like buying from holistic businesses or metaphysical spiritual businesses. So this is a Chamber of Commerce for us, by us, okay? Because I am part of the Prince William Chamber of Commerce and I love it and I still attend it, but it's really not geared towards the holistic spiritual community of Manassas. So please invite your friends, please come on out and, let's get together and network, and you get to meet all the wonderful healers and practitioners in our area, and then also get to find out about things that are going on in the area. So please come to that if you can.
Absolutely. And I just want to note, Karen and I, we went in there 2 weeks ago and I had an Americana, and I just want to let you know, I left there and my head was flying. So his coffee is good.
Yeah, and he's just a really great guy. He's very spiritual, just the story of Girani's. We were talking for like hours. Just the story of Girani's was amazing. So even if you can't come to our meeting, please support Girani's. It's a wonderful part of our community. And I hope that you guys can go there and support him as well. All right. Thank you all so much for watching us. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect us now. I don't even know how to do that.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and I look forward to seeing people on Saturday or on Friday at the Holistic Chamber.
Yes. Please come out and meet with us and come network and hang out with us. We love you guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the snow. We have a snow day tomorrow. Prince William County schools are closed. So technically Lotus is closed. So enjoy the snow day, and I'll see you guys later.